No, but with that all being said, guys, and without further ado, today we're going to be checking out the awesome brand new product by the name of Phaser.
With all that being said, guys, and without further ado, today we are going to be checking out the awesome brand new product by the name Phaser. So today's expression is without further ado. And what this means is to proceed or move forward with something without any fuss or delay, or to start to do something immediately without waiting any longer. Typically, when there's a meeting or a performance of some type, there's an introduction, and then it becomes time to start the meeting or the performance. So oftentimes there's a master of ceremonies, and when they're ready to proceed, he'll say or she'll say, and without further ado, let's move on and proceed with this, or I'd like to introduce someone. And also, ado is an old-fashioned word, and nobody even seems to know what it means. All they know is the idiom, without further ado. So presumably, ado means to do little things that contribute to something, and that's where the expression comes from. And you can also say without much ado, and that means when you started to do something and you had to do some things before you started, but it wasn't very much. So you can say, without much ado, I got in my car and I drove to Wisconsin. So if you want to encourage somebody to start to do something without fussing anymore, you can say, without further ado, let's proceed and do this and that. Examples. Without further ado, he hurried down the steps. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker. And now, without further ado, let me introduce our benefactor.